Hey guys, well, couldn't hold off any longer. Gotta do another video about the Sebenza. I'm just loving this knife. Like I said, I haven't really had too much pocket time with it. You know, I've only had it a few days. And, you know, I feel real lucky because it only took me a week from when I started selling knives on blade forums until it was in my hands. So it came really, really quick. And I feel fortunate for that because I thought it would take a long time to be able to, experience one of these. I've been wanting to hold one and use one for a long time, and I just feel privileged. So, further ado, like I said before, I'm not a Chris Reeve expert by any means. This is my first knife, first time holding it, everything, and I know a lot's been said about this knife by people that know what they're talking about. So, I'm just gonna give you guys, my take on it and whatnot, so take it for what it's worth. So, as you can see, I've got an Alias1 here in the video. I'm just gonna be doing some comparisons to that because, their build is, competitors almost, Alias being the production version, more widely available, less expensive. So, as you can see, it's a large Sebenza 21, as you know. I got the plain titanium scales, and I got that for a reason. This knife to me is just simple and beautiful. And I know a lot of people like the inlays and whatnot, but to me, it just takes away from this knife. And that's just my opinion. Everybody differs. Your mileage may vary. But to me, just a simple, sterile blade, plain titanium is just amazing, just beautiful, just art. And I just feel that inlays would take away from that somehow. And if you're thinking about getting inlays because for gripping purposes, let me tell you, this is really grippy titanium. Really, really grippy. It's almost like really light grit sandpaper. It really grips your hand. Really nice. So, Zippo, this knife, that. I know you're thinking about getting a small 21 with inlays, but let me tell you, man, you'll really dig the plain tie, and you'll be happy you did, because it's just simple and beautiful and elegant. But, don't let me decide for you. Inlays are cool. Everybody's different. So, that's just my take on the inlays. So back to the titanium. It's really, really grippy. It's really nice. And on the Alias1, it's really a slick knife. It's almost just like it's stainless steel. It's really slick titanium. So that's quite a difference in the two. It's a really nice feel. It stays in your hand nice. Both are titanium frame locks. And Sebenza's lock bar is so thick, really, really thick. It's pretty much the width, if not wider, of the blade itself, and that is just awesome. You can see the differences in the lock bars. The Alias has a fairly thick lock bar, but the Sebenza is definitely more robust, thick. I definitely would say stronger. As you can see, definitely wider, and just definitely a thicker, wider lock bar, really more secure. You see the scales are fairly the same size. The thing is about the Sebenza, though, it's just a lot of attention to detail. As you can see, the edges of the scales are all beveled, and that's just really, really nice. It's really adds to the aesthetics of the knife and the price. But just nicely beveled all the way around. Very, very, very nice. And these knives are like semi-custom. they're all they're put together by hand, but the blades and the scales are all CNC machines, computer designed, cut, you know, everything. And that's just so they can produce not more knives. But they're all hand fitted, hand sharpened, you know. And you know, I was wondering what this hole right here is for. Somebody told me that it's when they put the knife together. You know, they have a little thing that they put the scales on to fit the knife, and 2 bars go through these holes, and then they stack, you know, the scale blade and the scale, and this hole right here becomes the pivot, and this hole right here is just left open. Sometimes they put an inlay, like a gold little coin or something like that, but very, very nice blade. The blade is stone washed. Tumbled stone wash, gives it a really, really awesome looking texture, whereas the Alias is more a bee blasted. I really like the blade on the Sebenza. And the spine of the blade is nice and rounded off and polished. It's really, really nice, man. Everything about this knife is just really nice. Got your anodized thumb stud, which is really cool. It's got jimping up here, but it's purely aesthetic. I mean, it somewhat locks into your thumb, but you know, as the Alias, actually the jimping is really nice. The centering of the blade is just impeccable on the Sebenza. Perfectly centered blade. Alias pretty much dead center too. But I would have to say that the Sebenza just blows the Alias out of the water. Which is not to say the Alias isn't a good knife, because it is. It's an excellent knife for the money. But if I would pop down $100 more and get a Sebenza. Just really great knife, real thick, robust lock bar. Amazing action. Very, very sharp knife. I've already cut myself fairly bad with it, taking the lanyard off. So ergonomics are pretty similar. I know in a video before I kind of knocked the Sebenza for being squared off, but I hadn't even held one. It was just from pictures. But, you know, the Alias is definitely more ergonomic. It's got finger grooves here and whatnot, but the Sebenza, it feels great in the hands. It's got kind of a finger choil up here. Really, really feels great in the hands, guys. You can see the scales kind of taper off when they go towards the end, so it kind of like hugs snug in your hand. It's really snug. See how it kind of tapers down there, and it just really feels great. It's really, you know, it's a beast of a knife. No blade play whatsoever. It's got pivot bushings, so you can tighten it down as much as you want, and it'll still have the same action. Just sounds so great. Listen to that. It's amazing. I'm just so blown away by the quality of this knife. You know, I highly recommend it. And the large it's a fairly large knife, but it's not too large. I mean, I wouldn't say it's an EDC knife, but it's definitely a knife that I'm going to carry around. I carry a Cricket with me too, so this is for bigger jobs and, God forbid, self-defense. But mostly, you know, if I'm attacked by a wild animal, a dog, while I'm walking my dogs, you know. And this knife has not left my hand since I got it. It's just awesome. I love it. Amazing craftsmanship. So I just want to do a quick video, you know. This is just one in the series of a Sebenza videos coming up, you know. It's just, I want to do a lot of videos on this knife, you know. great knife. I just wanted to maybe compare it to the Alias right here, you know, show some differences, whatnot. See differences in the lock bar. It's a lot thicker on the Sebenza. A lot thicker. It's just a really robust overall hard use knife, and you will not be disappointed in shelling out $385 for it. Alright guys, take care. This was just a little spur of the moment video I wanted to do on the Sebenza. Just really loving this knife, and y'all take care now. Be safe.